we're going to take a look at the Wave XLR Mark II. What is the difference with the Wave XLR Mark 1, I guess, the old one, and what's in the box, and things like that. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start with unpacking the box. I think I need scissors, because I recently got like gel lock on my nails, and I got it, like, I removed it too harshly, and now my nails are really fragile, and I can't just use my nail for this. So I'm gonna need scissors. Hey, but luckily I do own a pair. 1, 2. Haha. Shake it! Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, that stretchy isn't working like well as I thought. Okay, pulling is working a lot better. Awesome. So this is how it looks like inside the box. Try to be really gentle, okay? Because I am known for destroying boxes. So this is the Wave XLR Mark II. I guess we're just gonna rip off the paper. It feels like a present. It's my birthday and I'm unpacking its present in white paper. All right. Cool. Then we have this little box here as well. I'm guessing there is a cable in it. We got a cable, we got USB-C to USB-C cable in here. Cool. Wave XLR quick start guide. And we have a little safety instruction guide as well. I think that's everything that's in this box. Check. Yeah, I think that's everything that's in this box. Awesome. Okay. Cool thing to note that this cable is wrapped with like cloth, which is like anti-tangle material, so it's not gonna like tangle that quickly. First of all, I want to note the difference between the Wave XLR and the Wave XLR Mark II. The big difference is the amount of dust on. I don't dust my desk enough. I swear I should do it like more often. So there is an accumulation of dust, especially at the bottom. But the quick thing that I see is there's like around the first one there's like dots here which are lights, and around the Mark II it seems to be a continuous strip instead of dots. Another thing I noticed, you've got the microphone icon right here, and above it are 3 dots. I'm not sure how good you're gonna see it. It's like a really minor thing. There are 3 dots there, and the Wave XLR, the first one, doesn't have that. So you can see that strip around it here. And the first one, oh, how good you can see it, but there's dotted lights around it instead. The back seems to be almost identical. Yeah, I think the rest is kind of identical. And the slip on the bottom. So design-wise, it looks really, really similar. Yeah, I don't think they changed much of the design, just the look of the thing itself. The thing itself has changed quite a bit though. What has changed between these two? It is hardware inside of them. As you guys know, I'm not like some kind of tech girl that knows like all the ins and outs about like the processors and stuff like that. I mean, I do know about like some Intel processors and NVIDIA cards that go into your PC, but I don't know about like a card that goes into something like this, of course. So I'm trying to make it as simple that you and I both understand what's going on. Right. So there is a processor inside these things, right? It processes what goes on these things. And in this one, the new one, there's a better one than in this old one. What does that do? It allows The new one, to be able to manage to do the plugins, the VST plugins, inside this thing itself. Meaning that there is less delay. So you don't have that delay while having your VST plugins. So for example, your equalizer is going to be handled inside this thing already. I hope you follow. So it has onboard DSP effects and VST insert support. It also has an enhanced analog input structure, and it has a better amplifier for studio microphones. So basically higher end studio microphones can work on it now too. You probably don't have one of those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you never had that problem, you don't have one of those. If you have that problem, this thing will fix it for you. And the last thing it can do is it can automatically set your gain. And the gain is like how loud your microphone is basically. And how you can do that is you start Wavelink 3.0 software, which is free, totally for people with Elgato stuff, but also people without Elgato products now. And you basically just connect this to your computer. It recognizes that you have the Wave XLR MK2, and it will go through a setup wizard, and you can automatically have it detect how loud your voice is and automatically set the proper volume for it. So you don't have to mess with it. So if you don't know anything about audio, it will help you set it up. How convenient, isn't it? I think that's pretty convenient. That is really noob friendly. Some questions that you might still have with this XLR mixer is which microphones will work on it. Basically any XLR microphones, condenser and dynamic microphones. Do third-party VSTs run on it as well? Yes, they will run on it as well through a dedicated insert path, which will give you lower latency than traditional software transcoding. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Especially for things like weird sound voices, like robot voices and stuff like that. Those are pretty slow usually, so you can make them faster with this. It also makes use of Clipguard 2.0. This one just made use of Clipguard, which is the improved version of Clipguard. Basically, if I start screaming, it will prevent the audio to clip, so it will prevent the audio from being too loud, basically. And it does it better than the previous one. Can you hear yourself with zero latency when using this thing? Absolutely. Yeah, you can. You can hear yourself back with zero latency. It's a thing. What is the difference with this one and the Pro? I don't have the Pro yet. I hope to be able to get that soon as well, hopefully. The Pro does have 2 inputs for XLR microphones. This one just has 1 input. So if you're using 2 microphones, I would recommend the Pro. The Pro can also do a standalone, and this one requires a PC. But this one is basically simpler to use. So if you just use 1 microphone and you're a noob, I would recommend this one. If you have a microphone with phantom power, that needs phantom power, I mean, you just have to turn on the phantom power here. It has phantom power. You see the 48V on this thing. And there's a little light with it. And you can turn it on or off. So you can use microphones with phantom power or without phantom power by just turning it on or off. If you don't know what phantom power is, your microphone probably doesn't need it. How much gain does this thing actually provide? 80 dB of ultra low noise gain. So even with microphones as the SM7B from Shure, you do not need an amplifier because this thing can handle it without an amplifier. No amplifier needed. Pretty good. Can you change the colors on this thing? Like for example from the lettering? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that in the software. Can you remove this front panel thing for customization? Yeah, they have cool customization options. Can you use 2 of these bad boys on one computer? I believe the Wavelink 3 supports up to 4 right now. So 4 does. Can you use this without a computer? No. You can use the Pro without a computer, but not this one. Is it beginner friendly? Completely, yeah. Like I said, you can set your gain automatically. The program you use, the Elgato Wavelink 3.0, is easy to use. I do have a video on how to use it as well. If you're still wondering how to use it, go check that video out. But it's super easy to set up and you just plug and play. The cables The USB goes into the USB, like it's literally plug and play. It doesn't go anywhere else. The headphones, it does have like a headphone icon on it. So just plug it into the headphone icon thing. And then your XLR microphone goes in the one slot it goes into. So it's just like, you can't do it wrong. You literally can't do it wrong. I guess you can put the USB-C into the power supply instead of the PC. Put it in the PC, not in the power supply. I guess that's the only thing you can do wrong. You need to connect it to your PC. If you have any more questions about this thing, let me know in the comments. I do my best to answer them all. And now I'm going to connect this bad boy to my PC instead of this old one. I wanted to throw this like to the back just as a dramatic effect, and then I realized like it's still like really good hardware and I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not I'm not going to waste that. It's still good. I'm still using it. I connected it to my PC. I've connected it and you can see that in the Wave Link 3.0 we can see the XLR MK2 right here. We're clicking on Get Started. And it tells you that you need to connect your microphone. And it tells you about the features right here. Here, this is the mute button. The dial control if you turn in. Press for 5 seconds if you want to adjust the audio gain. Here is the phantom power light. The volume tune. This is like the new feature. Get rich tape-inspired sound in seconds. Voice tune blends compression and harmonics to enhance any signal. So that's what these lights are for. Then this one is the set input gain. So that's when the dial is on that. This is when the dial is on output volume from your headphones. And this is when it's on the mix between the difference between what you hear, like how much of the microphone you hear versus how much of the computer you hear through your microphone. You guys don't hear this microphone yet. You're just hearing the microphone that I have here. And then you have to plug in your headphones. You can set the output volume right here. It's also telling you where to plug in the headphones. And then you have to position your microphone right in front of your mouth. Yeah. And then let's get started. And click on start. And now speak into the microphone for 10 seconds so we can check your levels. Speaking at a normal volume to test the gain. Make sure that everything, okay, I spoke. I wasn't saying exactly what they wanted me to say because I was talking to you guys as well. But I did talk the whole time, so that's good. They adjusted my gain to right here. And now we're going to continue. And now real-time voice monitoring. This is how much of myself I can monitor, and I can hear myself right now. I'm gonna see if I can already like put the microphone in OBS right now. Yes, okay, cool. I do hear myself very loud now. Cool. We've got the self-monitoring here. I'm not sure if it mixes. We don't have it in the personal output. But we do. Oh, here the output is wrong. Unavailable. Oh, yeah, that's because it's the old one. We want the new headphones in here. And then we can just hear everything again. Cool. If you're wondering how I set this all up, I have that explained in the other video. If you don't want the self-monitoring that loud, you can turn it back down a little bit or up, whatever you want. The output volume, how loud you want your headphones to be, you can also turn up or down. I'm gonna hello. Yes, I turned off the phantom power because this microphone does not need phantom power. Direct monitoring excludes software effects from self-monitoring. So now I don't hear the effects, and now I do hear the effects. And so I hear myself a little bit different if I do this than when I do this. High power mode optimizes volume and clarity for a high. Oh, this is if you have like a fancy headphones, like a studio headphones, you can turn this on. If you don't have studio headphones, you can leave this off. I'm wondering how this sounds. Oh my god. I do have studio headphones. This sounds sexy.
Is that weird to say? Yeah, this sounds really good. Hello. Hello. You guys don't hear a difference. That's just me, but that's really cool. Okay. Um, hello. 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 Okay, I'm just messing with the settings now. And we can put effects on it. It also has effects on it already, like voice tune, expander, low cut filter. We can put in a compressor and an equalizer on. The voice focus is on automatically. We can turn this all off if you want. Or you can add more effects. Oh, apparently I have a firmware update for Ting. Hello? Yes, okay, we're back. I just updated a firmware update that was needed. This is how we can change the color of the ring if we want it to be a different color if it's muted. We can also name it like trees. Trees thing. This is my serial number, my firmware number. We can also say like, hey, it's way too bright. Let's make it less bright or brighter. No, it's already on this brightest right now, so we can't. And we can also do a sound check to listen for like how it sounds like. Right now it's on my screen. No, this is my screen. I think it would be helpful to listen to how I'll listen to on my headphones instead. But yeah, this is basically the settings for the Wave XLR Mark II and how it looks like. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Any comments, leave them also in the comments. That's, I guess, where the comment section is for. If you want to see more Elgato videos, I leave them somewhere here. And I hope to see you in one of my other videos.